Very briefly, some takeaways. Leadership is the journey of the soul. Anyone aspiring to be a leader, it is a soul journey. It's not about accolades, positions, or power. I love that I learned the difference between being assertive and aggressive. They don't have to be one and the same thing. A wise man once said, show me who reads your books, and I'll show you the leaders convicted to lead with integrity and intelligence. The wise man further on went to say, show me who you impress, and I will know the quality and value of your wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, I am about to introduce yet another leader. He describes himself as a part-time poet, a part-time motivational speaker, and a full-time human being. Let's not glaze over that full-time human being thing. Please, no. I was having a conversation with someone not too long ago, and I said one of the curriculums we need to introduce in education is humanity. In our world today, we are forgetting how to be human. So it is more than an honor and a pleasure to introduce a full-time human being. Some of the a title that this human being carries, he is the head boy. Wait, hold up. Oh yeah, he is the head boy of Havana Project Secondary School. One of the students that Mr. Ngombe has the privilege to groom and mentor. And which is what, and another thing he said, so again, keeping with the theme, I asked, what is it about Mr. Mind that, you know, I mean, just an ordinary guy. Can I tell them that you got emotional? Okay. He held it very well, you know, the eyeball almost sweated. But I have to say that it was a genuine and authentic response. He said, and I paraphrase, I no longer live with my parents, and in the times when I need them, Mr. Ngombe is there. That, yeah, a round of applause, guys. This is going beyond the thing of, I'm a teacher, I've given you your assignment, what do you want? And I truly appreciate that about you myself. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the full-time human being, Mr. Feliciano Cantombelela.
One of the greatest lessons Mr. Mind has ever taught me is that the trees do not give out fruits for themselves, but for other organisms. Likewise, as humans, we are not here for ourselves, but for the betterment of the human race. Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue to celebrate this occasion, as we continue to learn and be inspired on the cruciality of emotional intelligence for leaders, entrepreneurs, and individuals in general, from the best leaders, the best authors, and the best entrepreneurs our continent has to offer. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Feliciano Katombela, and I am honored to introduce. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to embrace myself with this one, because I mean, this man's credentials, some of us haven't even yet graduated high school. Just give me a second. Our speaker is 45 years of age. He was born in a village called Shitavwe, Sambondo in, guys, he will come and help me with that one, in Limpopo, South Africa. He is a founder and CEO of VUWA Holdings Ltd, which was founded in 2005. In 2005, he saw a need of a one-stop health and safety compliance services provider and started VUWA Occupational Safety and Projects, which then transformed into VUWA Holdings Ltd. When broadening the kinds of services offering, which included health and safety consulting, SETA accredited skill development and training, on-site medical surveillance security services. In 2017, VUWA extended its services offering into private college under VUWA College, which specializes in safety management, computer skill security management, artisan skill development and entrepreneurship skills development certificate program. He has been actively involved in business development and management for the past 16 years, besides the hardship and challenges which comes with owning and managing a small business in South Africa, especially when coming to funding and security of bigger business opportunities and conducting business of securing of bigger business opportunity and conducting business of the public sector. He calls himself a game changer who is never afraid of challenges and taking risks towards business development. Through all these years, he continued to acquire different skills, which include safety management, logistics, entrepreneurship skills, security management, and he is a certified health safety auditor recognized by different organizations such like say OCPCMP, SAIOSH, ISHPP, say ACCOHE, as some of professional bodies within the industry, with the last two being the professional bodies he has started himself. He has continually mentored more than 20 small business owners yearly throughout the country, including those outside South Africa. He is a firm believer in small business being the core solution to the high rate of unemployment in South Africa, especially among the youth. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and help me welcome Tshilidzi Munasi.
Good morning. Good morning. I think I have a challenge of being here because it's not Sunday today. So luckily I had to stopwatch myself because you give a pulpit to to some of us in the crowd, and then it becomes a church. And let me first appreciate Mr. Ngombe. I used to call you Ngombe, but when I'm seated there, I happen now to understand how to pronounce your name. Thank you for a well introduction from Mr. Game Changer. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I think first I might do things differently. I have a book here that I understand there is a reverend in the house. I meant to give this to you, but I decided to give it to a pastor. It's a book written by one young pastor. He's very young, he's 32. I was attending the launch last week in Pretoria, in another launch today, and
I will be in another launch next week, Saturday. So I don't know what that tells or where is that leading me to. So I think, yeah, Whale is taking me a beautiful picture and maybe then acknowledge my wife for dressing me. Yeah, it took us a walk throughout the shop, the festival mall, maybe about 2 hours, trying to search, or she was trying to make me look this beautiful. Thank you to her. Rev, I have a gift for you. It's you will understand the message, why the book says. Oh, that camera. I love pictures. It's a book written by Pastor Rick Nechiozi. He runs Rick Nechiozi Ministries. It's called I Never Knew You. The little takeaway from that is to say, it was when Jesus was saying, yes, you have healed so many, you have preached, you make miracles, but I never knew you. So that was being spoken on the last day, on the judgment day, being spoken to pastors, prophets, preachers. So it's actually a confirmation to say, as a reverend, do you know your congregations? Do you know people who sits in front of you in a daily basis? Or it's only them who knows you? Thank you, sir. It's a pity because I usually get books signed, and this was signed for me. Unfortunately, it's the only one I have here, but I do have another one because every time when I buy books, I buy more. Thank you, sir. And a confirmation, I don't know how much are the books, but he mentioned that people should buy how many books? No. During your speaking here, he said 3 to 4. You said 3 to 4. You said 3 to 4. So I wanted to make more than your number. I'm gonna buy 5 books. I know you're gonna give me one, but I'll buy 5. Yeah. It's just an indication of what we need to do when we attend launches. Not a matter of just attending and then we go home. We need to support authors. Because reason why I'm also buying 5 is because you are encouraging me that, or he encouraged me that, what am I doing this December? I will be finishing up my book called Louder. It's been on circulation for at least 4 years now. Thank God you encouraged me that this December, instead of running up and down, going to gospel events, spending money, I'm going to spend time finishing up that book. And come next year, 18 November, we will be launching the book. Yeah, I'm trying to get to the groove when it's always intimidating when speaking to people. I've been introduced, but maybe just to highlight, I was not the speaker, right? Yeah. Because I know just now people are saying, oh, is this Prof Tshilidzi? No, I am not Prof. I am not Prof. I don't want to get the accolades which are not mine. I wanted to say which I don't deserve. Not I deserve them, but which are not mine. I still have enough time. The next thing that I want to do is to pass my black cards. You know black cards, right? Pass my black cards to 2 young people in the house, the men who introduced me. Please, you can come get one. and the young lady. I also need a picture. So I will have to be in the middle. I want to make sure I trend in Namibia. And I think these guys, they will also make me trend. Okay. I'm giving them 2 of my business cards to say, I'm extending my availability, my mentorship to you guys. So come 2025, I don't know, but something should have happened in your lives in 2025. Thank you. I did, 2025 is how many years? 4 years, right? Yeah, 4 years. My other son, who is based in Botswana, some years back I was speaking at University of Botswana, and I had one business card and said, who needs this business card? And out of the whole crowd, a very young skinny boy ran from the back, and he came to the fore and grabbed my business card. And all I said to him was that I am available. I'll mentor you. I'm glad to mention today that the young boy, young man, is a multimillionaire today. That's 4 years. That's why I said 2025. I'm not a prophet. I'm not prophesying anything, but I look at 4 years. And I keep on saying, surely there could be something about the 4 years. My last born is 10. We were sharing a bit with her. She's 10. She's called Dr. Tshilidzi. She's 10. It's Dr. Tshilidzi. In my office, there are 2 papers. You know, the flip chart papers. I put them in my office right in front of me. It's a working business plan. Early in the year, she came to me and said, Daddy, can I have a piece of paper? I say, okay, here is it. And she said, no, it's small, because I was giving her an A4 paper. She said, no, I need a bigger one. Don't you have a bigger one? And I said, okay, let me tear papers from flip chart papers. Gave it to her. Good 2-3 hours, she locked herself or closed herself in her room. And later she came back and said, no, Daddy, can you have a look at this? I said, what is it? She said, it's my plan. I said, what plan? I said, you see, it's my restaurant and bakery plan. She likes baking. She can bake a delicious cake at 10. I think I'm the one who usually messes the cake if she's baking when the mom is not there, because she will come to me asking about the measure of ingredients, and I usually make. She wrote a business plan of her cake baking shop or cake baking place, and a restaurant where you can come and buy a cake, sit and enjoy your restaurant and coffee. What touched me was when I said, okay, so when are we starting with this business? I said, no. It's going to start when I go to high school. She's on grade 4 now. So she's going to high school in how many years? 4 years. So in 4 years, she's going to high school. That business, in 4 years' time, she said it needs to be starting in Pretoria, in a busy place. It's not me, it's her saying. In a busy place in Pretoria. And by then, she's going to hire 2 bosses. Then I said, 2 bosses? I thought you were the boss. No. I'm the owner. So 2 bosses, I said, okay, so it's going to be the bosses. She said, no, I'm going to hire 2 white bosses. Then I asked, why white bosses? I said, no, because, people always respect them. And when they see a white person running something, like in South Africa, they always run for that. But okay, fair enough. So a 10-year-old, she put an idea which is going to run in 4 years' time. I'm telling you, written with places to sit, chairs, tables, toilets, bathrooms, where they're going to be making these cakes. There are places where she even wrote raw materials, like where they will store raw materials, complete. I did not assist her. She did it on her own. So it's 10. Yeah, she's 10. The whole plan she did on her own. But it's a challenge to me to say, you are raising game changers. There is a game changer who in 4 years' time, she needs to have a restaurant starting. In 4 years' time, at the age of 14, she will or must be a boss with an average, maybe more than 10 employees. Is it possible? Very possible. So to me, I think there's something with these 4 years that I've now started to look at. 4 years. So surely, Mr. Game Changer, Madam Game Changer, something should happen in 2025. What? I am not too sure. Because I heard you don't know yet what you want to be. But based on your speech here, there's greatness, great stuff which God has placed in you, and it must come out. Are we good? I did protocol observed, right? I was also fascinated by the profile or acknowledgement of what's his name again? Madam Speaker, what's his name again?
The wise man.
Yes. Not Mr. Wise Man. The legacy builder in our house. The gentleman you acknowledge. In Tate Ramalenga. Yes. I'm impressed. For his caliber, it doesn't necessarily need him to be seated there. I went through the profile. I went through the profile. His profile leads Namibia, into Namibia and to Stellenbosch. Am I right? In LinkedIn, is there. So I'm trying to show that when we have time or the opportunity to connect to greatness, use them to your ability. Use them to our ability. I've got so many multi-millionaire or billionaire friends. When I'm with them, I don't ask for money. All I ask for is wisdom. They will give you wisdom. They should give you wisdom. They shouldn't give you money for nothing. So say, I really appreciate that. I'm going to read the speech, which was actually supposed to be being done so by Prof. Eric Nenjelele, who happened to be my homeboy. We are from the very same village. I'm older than him, but he's a professor. He's the current acting director. I call him head of the School of Public and Operations Management. You know, when you are acting, it means you are going there. So I call him the head because when you are acting, God has seen that you are having the capability to be there. Eric it's a young boy, was born some couple of years back in the same village of Chitaba Samando in Venda, under Toyando, where I come from. He's a nephew to our headman, Professor Mundalamu. So Professor Tshilidzi Eric, he's a nephew to our headman, Professor Mundalamu. I'm looking on the issue about legacy, you know, the generational transfer of blessings. The first he was, or to talk about it, about Ubuntu. I am because of you. That's Ubuntu. I am what I am because of who we all are. Compassion, kindness, humanity, and all that connect us together by sharing ourselves with others and caring for those around us. The great statesman Nelson Mandela once said, in Africa, there is a concept known as Ubuntu. The profound sense that we are human only through the humanity of others. That if we are to accomplish anything in this world, it will, in equal measure, be due to the work and achievement of others. I quote. It takes a village to raise a child. That's a well-known African proverb. And again, he stressed that Ubuntu is a biblical concept. Mark 12:31. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Do we? Do we? Entrepreneur, I always laugh with it to say, you know, loving your neighbor as you love yourself. In most cases, I mean, we find it not happening in real life. Especially not even going far away. Our neighbors is very far. Our relatives. Entrepreneurs with Ubuntu principle. They sell products or services which they themselves would buy. Treat customers the way they will need to be treated. Treat employees like family. You know, your employees must, or they should be your family. That's personally, to comment on that, that's what we do as well at VUWA. I mean, all my employees, they knows my house. They knows where to make coffee. They knows where to make food in the house. They knows where to sleep if they are in my house. Treat employees like family. They are your family. Compensate employees fairly. Trust their employees fully. That's a great one. Listen and learn from customers' complaints. Give feedback to the community. Give back to the community. This is a great challenge to business owners. You are blessed, or God blesses you so that you can be a what? A blessing. Entrepreneurs without Ubuntu principle, they don't trust their employees. They run business to make money instead of solving a problem. They put their needs ahead of their customers. Destroy their business through uncontrolled emotions. They make permanent decisions based on temporary problems. Don't know how to say, I am sorry. I am sorry. I don't know why it becomes so difficult for us to actually accept or just to say sorry. Example of entrepreneurs with Ubuntu principle. This was said by Dr. James Mtwangi. If you dare to dream about a life of an impact, the journey starts today. Women with their nascent instinct for caring should be part of this journey. I challenge the fintech industry to open its doors to women and women to use the opportunity to become drivers, not passengers. Dr. James Mtwangi is a group managing director and CEO of Equity Group Holdings, executive chairman of Equity Group Foundation. This was a message which he was sending to fintech. It's the same message which Madam Steenkamp was saying about a leadership mainly male with a workforce mainly female. It's a challenge. I am not saying that. It's a challenge to the government. Example of entrepreneur with Ubuntu principle. One of the Africa's richest men, I think globally he challenges. He's in the level of your Elon Musk. My grandfather once told me, the soul of business is not making money, but making people happy. That was said by Ntate Ali Dangote. He's one of the richest African men. Dangote, yes. Do we know him? Yeah, go Google him. So he's encouraging us to make business to solve people's problems, not to make money. Money will follow. Can I just share with you a bit along that? The reason why we have those what we call anthropologists, that word is still struggle with me, or those who seems to be caregivers, those who seems to be helping us. Can I share? I wrote it, I think, on my social platform a day or so back to say the challenge which I personally, because I don't want to be misquoted, found is that in Africa, those who seems to be helping us solve the problem, they are not solving our problem. They are not solving our poverty problem. They are actually solving or enriching themselves. There is no charity provider who does it for free. They do it to enrich themselves. There were floods in Zimbabwe where Ntate Strive provided planes, which those planes were actually for our brother, Mr. Richard, Virgin Airlines. They provided food to Zimbabwe through South Africa mostly. Their reason, it was not mainly to solve the problem of the flood. Their reason was for them to be recognized, so that when the Zimbabwean government need people to do services, they should look at those who act like they are helping the needy. So until we change our mindset to say when we do good for the community, we don't need to sing it loud. Why must you call a media conference to give food parcels to people? Ask yourself. Why? If you are helping, do it silently. The ones who use media to say, come, I'm giving 100 food parcels to people, they want to be seen. Okay, it's good to be seen. But if somebody is poor or in need, why do you have to show this person to the whole world? It's not me, it's Ali Dangote saying, my grandfather or his grandfather once told him, the soul of business is not making money, but making people happy. And how do you benefit? When people are happy, they will support your business. Another quote, my parents insisted that we should always be respectful, never forget where we come from, and that we are part of the challenges facing our community. That was from one of our own local billionaires, Ntate Patrice Motsepe. That's his quote. The challenges in the community, they are your challenges. They are our challenges. I'm also saying they are our challenges because I would really love to visit your village next time. So I'm giving you a challenge to say when you're going to the village, like Mr. Otto said, call me. I will come. I almost said I will come at my own expense. It's okay, I will come. It's true, I will come at my own expense. And believe me, when I come, it's not necessary for me to be known, for it to be known that I was there. I was coming here for the event, believe me, I was not even gonna sit there. I was gonna sit there at the back because my main reason for coming here, it was to attend the event. Leaders with Ubuntu to lead people the way they will learn to be led in case they step down. Lead through servanthood. Servanthood. I almost raised it to Reverend to say, that book will challenge you. This thing of us pastors, when we go to churches, we should be prayed, you know what, everyone should open ways and get special water, special seating. I challenge it. Let's change it. Let's change it. If you happen to visit in South Africa, one day come and attend a church where I attend Hope Restoration Ministry. My Reverend Rev Matebula, he doesn't have that highball chair. He sits on the very same chairs that everybody sits. But it's a multi-million rand church. Multi-million rand church, I mean a multi-million rand church. I'm trying to challenge pastors to say, let's be servant. Listen to the followers. Happy with the achievements of their followers. Manage the purpose of leadership and not with the purpose of leadership, not characters. Leaders should not portray the character. They must portray leadership. Communicate their vision clearly to their followers and have great leadership or negotiation skills. Leadership without Ubuntu, take followers as workers. You are a leader, you don't know, you've got a Lamborghini and you don't want none of your employees ever driven your car. Okay. Don't listen to followers. They don't listen to followers. They dictate, make decisions that benefits themselves in the expense of everyone. They are too quick to make decisions that require more time. They want to be served instead of serving for or serving the community. They trigger violence and wars. I mean, especially our African leaders, they saw such a huge challenge. Example of African leaders with Ubuntu principle. Nelson Mandela sacrificed most of his lifetime for democracy in South Africa. Ndate Kenneth Kaunda used peaceful protests and negotiations to gain independence for Zambia. Patrice Lumumba used Pan-African ideologies to gain independence for the Republic of Congo. Julius Nyerere pressured Britain for the independence of Tanzania. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah assisted in the finding of African Union. I wanted to add, which this was not from Prof. Tate Robert Mugabe, he told Britain where to get off. When Britain is doing what they are actually doing now to other African countries, it is unfortunately we thought he is crazy, but then look at the current leadership. I don't know. Look at the current leadership. Being intelligently emotional, unlocking the power of Ubuntu in Africa for success in leadership and entrepreneurship. Through Ubuntu, leaders and entrepreneurs lead others the way they would like to be led. To these leaders, their joy comes from it that they have enabled the followers to move from point A to B. If you are a businessman, you are a church leader, and your employees and your followers are still the very same position where they were when they start joining you, please go and look at what is your problem. Because the problem is not your members, the problem is not your employees. Unless you really know these Ubuntu principled leaders, it will be difficult to know who is the leader or follower due to their humility. Can I tell you one thing? You know how nice is it to go to, let's say you go to a client. You go to a client with one of your employees, and the client thinks your employee is a big boss. And you still maintain humility, and you still remain quiet. I mean, calm. It's so nice. I experienced that so many times. Because 90% of the time, I hardly even introduce myself as the founder of VUWA Holdings. Only when they insist, hey, bring your boss here, tell your boss to come and say yes. On the last day, if it's a conference and engagement, I'll say, okay, from the office of the CEO of the founder, I thank you. In fact, I'm Tshilidzi Munasi, the founder and CEO of VUWA Holdings. Then they start looking, you know. Africa will be the leading continent in the world if leaders had exercise emotional intelligence through their tenure. If our leaders practice that, believe me, we don't need America. We don't need Britain. Because what they are using to become powerhouses, it's our raw materials. You are all wearing rings and all those gold things. Hey, where is this gold coming from? The country that produced the most diamonds in the world. You know who's that? No, our neighbor Botswana. And when you go to your American Swiss, you are buying all these rings and all these expensive earrings with the diamonds and the gold which are being produced in Africa. I don't want to be emotional. A leader or entrepreneur cannot control his emotions, destroy his organization and its people. Africa needs leaders who can remain calm in the midst of crisis, disaster, and pandemic. Africa needs 7 leaders. He that remains emotional and uncontrolled as a leader or entrepreneurship has not read the book. You know what's the name of the book? Being Intelligently Emotional. Unlocking the power of Ubuntu in Africa for success in leadership and entrepreneurship. And this book was authored by one of our own, Augustinus M Ngombe, from Namibia. And it says thank you on the slide. This is the message from Prof. Eric Nenjelere. Unfortunately, he was unable to join us due to the pandemic. And I'm privileged to be the one narrating such, especially being his homeboy. Is my time up? I was timing and then it disappeared. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. Yeah, it's up. But in 2 minutes closing is this is from my own personal comment. Africa or Africans, we have got so much ability. We are enough. We have enough. All we need is to get going. He was asking me a question to say, emotional intelligence, entrepreneurship. Simple answer I gave to him was, know what you want to achieve, with what, and with or through who. I told him he doesn't need us to be a saint to try to assist everybody. When you find that some of the employees we keep in our companies are not aligned to our vision or our dreams. But my challenge to you is, what do you have? What you have is enough to get going, to get started. What you have is what? Enough to get started. Start small, don't want to start big. Like I said, I started VUWA Holdings 16 years ago. I think I was sharing with them yesterday to say, when I started, I was driving a Ford Bantam, a very old one. Not because I desired, just because I cannot afford. And the bank was not going to look at me. And I tried to say to them to say, I think today I'm in a position where I am able to follow or to achieve what my heart desires. Because if you walk to a bank and you say you need a car or a house, the bank will be gladly willing to give you that. But I will challenge, which I said to them, do I need a Lamborghini? Yes. Is it important for me to have a Lamborghini? No. Is it important for me to help somebody next door? Yes. Hence, which is when he was talking about African Ubuntu, and they was talking about, he spoke about the underwear, right? You talk about the sanitary wear, and it touched me to say, years back when my father used to work as a gardener in Edenvale, some years back when we were not having enough underwears, he brought some old underwear. I remember the red and black in color, and it was too big. And it has to be adjusted so that I can wear that to school. And I was on high school. That is around the 80s, the 90s. And when I'm seated there, I just said, you know what? Everybody talk of sanitary pads. Before you wear sanitary pad, you need what? To those people that we give sanitary pads has underwears. If at high school I was unable to, or my parents were unable to afford an underwear, so I started a thing to say, I'm going to challenge myself from next year 2022 to say every year 15,000 packs of sanitary pads, 15,000 pairs of underwear packs that should be going to schools. And I always say, things that God drops into your heart, run with it. And I promise, I will run with it. Unfortunately, I was trying to do calculations. In closing, that's a good 1.3 million that will be needed. Do I have it? Oh, do I have, do I have access to it? Yes. Because I've got friends who's got it. All I need to do is to go to him and say, please buy me 10 packs of underwears. And he will buy me. Then I go distribute. In closing, thank you so much for the opportunity. I know my challenge with this, that's why I ran away from here. You know, as a pastor in the pulpit, the church can go on. Surely we will have an opportunity to engage each other again, definitely. But I'm glad that I'm leaving Namibia with 2 kids that I've adopted, whether they like it or not. I'm doing that, I'm adopting that. And surely 2025, they should give testimony about what will happen. I thank you.